Good evening, folks. I'm prepared this here. I was going back and looking at my videos from several months ago, and you know what? I know I had it. I know. Right here. Is this the big one? January 28th, 2020. Let's play this video and look back and see what it could do to you. Of course, it'll be commercial.
You see it right here. This is the epidemiology's map of China right now while this virus begins to spread. If you're not prepared, you're going to wish you were.
Now, after seeing that, my friends, and only got 100 and some odd videos, it just frustrates me to know that nobody listened. You know, everybody takes it as a joke that this thing came, and you need to start figuring out that was January 28th. Now, I don't have any place before that because of the impeachment. I mean, everybody's focusing was getting rid of the Trump family from the White House and whatever they've been trying to do for the last 3 years before that. Every effort, they threw the kitchen sink at this guy, for crying out loud, ladies and gentlemen. And then this thing comes up, and nobody was paying attention. I called it. Is this the big one? January 28th, 2020. All I can do is focus on the future and think that, well, nah, I don't know. So I as I keep going up through I got here, Prepper Worry, Too Close for Comfort, China Syndrome. Let's watch that one. Minus the commercials, I hope.
Good afternoon, YouTube subscribers and new viewers to my channel. The bottom of this page should be concerning to anybody who lives in the Boston area. As for myself, we're north of Boston, about 60 miles. And this does not sit well with me because my biggest fear was getting into New England. The good thing is, well, there's no good thing about this, but the brighter side is we're prepared. At home, at business, at play, and at leisure, because this is the United States. It'll hit here slowly, not like in China where people are just turned away from the hospitals because the hospitals are overwhelmed. Here, 1 or 2 cases, throw them into isolation, monitor who they've associated with, and start dealing with it one by one. It's when it gets into these underprivileged countries or poverty-stricken countries, and it just goes rampant because people are turned away and they just have to deal with it themselves. So the good thing is, again, of a bad thing, here in the United States, we're ready for these type of situations because we prepare for them.
Boy, was I wrong. And that was on February 1st, 2020. Boston, in New York City, you had the mayor there throwing people back into their rest homes, testing positive for it, or at least back then there was no test for it. So, well, it looks like the flu. Go ahead and go back to your domicile. You will be okay. And then we have to back up a little bit more, and if I can not do this without messing up, folks, what I'm trying to show you is all the dots got connected early by the U.S. government under Trump's administration. By this time now, February, he had already, if my memory serves me right, stopped or was going to block any more airlines from opening these folks to come to our country. But I'm almost here to think that no, something I didn't talk about it. So let's go see. Let's go see. And all we can do now is go back and pay. I'm sorry, folks, but I'm not good at this. So the problem is the president had what he had, and everybody behind him was playing catch up. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, what's this guy talking about? All he's babbling about is what some Republican was trying to do to stop the spread of some virus that was now identified as coming from China. He was trying to identify the source. Now I can wonder is what's next? It's now October, and people are now getting it again, or it's spreading again. There's been flare-ups everywhere. 33 states are now in panic mode, and here it is, October. Are you kidding me? You people need to pull your head out of your proverbial and stop doing what you're doing because you don't understand. If like, call it the flu, call it whatever you want, but just listen. You have your rights. Yes, we understand it. But I'm telling you something right now. You want to get it? Fine. Okay, this guy right here, he proved that the new medicines now can save lives. So go ahead and embrace it. If you don't, you elect this guy named Biden in there, you guys are going to see this for 2 and 3 more years. I'm sorry, folks, but that's just the way I feel. You're doing it to yourselves. You're doing it to yourselves. It just takes common sense here, people. If you don't want to listen to me, fine. I mean, I've called it back then. I'm going to call it now. And second of all, last summer and last spring, when the doors were open and the animals decided to go out, look, I understand that you can't hold back. The United States, you need to be understanding about the history of this country. A little history lesson. A bunch of people came over in a boat. They were from Europe. They came over to a great place and said, we need help. So they started bringing over people against their will, putting them to work. For 100 years, they got used to it and complacent to it. And then a group of people went, no, you can't do that. Jefferson said, we have to stop slavery, or we can't be a nation. The southern states went, screw you, pal. I need somebody to pick my food. And then it took another 100 years until 1862, and a guy named Abraham Lincoln became the president of the United States and said, enough is enough. And the great American Civil War began. It was over a lot more stuff, but it just happened that slavery was one of the things that was nitpicked to death. We couldn't have people living in this country in slavery, just wrong. But yet we did it, and we're apologizing every frickin' day now in the future because of it. But yet you won't let it go. It's over, past, it's history. California now is going to pass a law to give retribution, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's like, what are you going to give them? What do you got, $1 million a day for the next 50 fucking years? No, you're not. You're going to just placate them. Just shut up. It happened. Move on. Okay, all the statues are now gone. You've destroyed, you've rotted, you burned. Get over it. Now winter's coming. I'd love to see you at -2 degrees, walking down Detroit, burning up the town. You're not going to do that. The nice weather brought you out. A lot of you folks are sitting there dying because your grandfathers, your aunts and uncles are dead. Well, who brought it in? China. Blame them. They'll be burning down your towns. You don't shit where you live, but you keep doing it. This is Honest Hour, folks. I'm sorry, but if you want to drop me as I don't care. I'm just so peeled right now I can't even stand it. Because back I called it, and you didn't listen.
Which Loudon says several of its supporters live in China and support the CCP line.
So Liberation Road is the parent body of Black Lives Matter. Liberation Road are the people who burnt Ferguson, Missouri to the ground in 2014. And Liberation Road, Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi, the 3 founders of Black Lives Matter, are all directly affiliated to Liberation Road.
Loudon says this Maoist communist group controls the Chinese Progressive Association in Boston and San Francisco. Miguel Moreno, NTD News.
Now we turn to President Trump's latest remarks on China. In an interview with Fox News this Thursday, President Trump said he wants to bring U.S. military home by the end of this year. He added the move is to prevent troops from wearing out in case they are needed for fights against other countries, including China. Turn to President Trump's latest remarks on China. In an interview with Fox News this Thursday, President Trump said he wants to bring U.S. military home by the end of this year. He added the move is to prevent troops from wearing out in case they are needed for fights against other countries, including China.
And we have to be always prepared for China and Russia and these other places. We have to be prepared. Maybe North Korea.
Trump also said that if he wins the second term, he would impose tariffs on China. He claimed China bought its largest order of U.S. corn and soybeans in history to keep him happy.
Because they know that I'm a hair trigger when it comes to them, and I'm sick of them. Everything that we have that COVID, the China virus because of them.
He also blamed the Chinese regime for job losses in the states due to the pandemic. Now and up.
And remember, folks, it can happen from the north, it can happen from the south, it can happen from the east, or coming from the west. Always be prepared. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, or I'll be out there waiting for you to come to me. Admiral Preparedness, God bless you all.